Lego man, what are you doing? Why are you talking about the Dubois trade and not the Markstrom trade? I know, calm it. We have so much to go forward to and talk about today. Ty Dellandrea, Barclay Goodrow, Jacob Markstrom, and then, of course, the trade that we had just talked about, Pierre-Luc Dubois over to the Capitals. It's kind of crazy. NHL GMs woke up on a Wednesday morning and were like, hey, today is going to be the day we make all of our trades. Also, nice Photoshop job. Look at that. They just turned down to saturation on Markstrom's mask and jersey swapped him so that he's got the Devils jersey gear on. But take a look at that. Travis Yost went out there and tweeted, Calgary's Jacob Markstrom is being traded to New Jersey. And then Pierre-Luc Dubois went out there, or not Pierre-Luc Dubois, Pierre LeBrun, excuse me. Getting all of my Pierre L's mixed up. Pierre LeBrun went out there and confirmed it. The Flames and Devils are working to finalize a Jacob Markstrom trade after months of negotiations. Not everyone involved has been informed yet, I'm told. This was 4 hours ago, and now we have ourselves the real deal as to how everything went down. Markstrom to the Devils. In return, Calgary is getting 23-year-old defenseman Kevin Bahl and a first-round pick in 2025. Now, there are a few extra details. The 2025 first-round pick is top 10 protected, so just in case the New Jersey Devils absolutely stink in 24-25, they finish outside the playoffs, they finish in the bottom 10 of the NHL, that first-round pick will remain with them, it will not go over to Calgary. Also, we had ourselves some extra thoughts from Darren Dreger. Trade discussion heated up last night between these two clubs. Markstrom officially waived for the second time, we should add, this morning. The Flames also retain salary in the trade. How much salary? Well, it's over 30%. And then you had Frank Seravalli saying that it is 30%. So actually, we could have gone out there and looked at this tweet because it has everything that we need. Trade details, the Devils are getting Jacob Markstrom, and the Flames are getting a 2025 first from New Jersey and Kevin Bahl. The Flames are retaining 30% of Markstrom, knocking Markey down to a $4 million AAV, and Calgary avoids July 1 SB. What is SB? Salary bonus, that's what it is, signing bonus. The pick is top 10 protected, and Markstrom waived his no-trade clause. Not sure why this didn't happen at the trade deadline. Yeah, me neither. Honestly, this could have been done. It's a very small trade in the grand scheme of things. A first-round pick and Kevin Bahl is not the huge package that we thought we would be able to see here. A first and multiple seconds and another player or whatever. I guess because their salary retained, there is a little bit of a discount there. But the Calgary Flames initially not wanting to retain on Jacob Markstrom, it cost them the trade at the trade deadline. And then when the Devils inevitably said, okay, fine, we can take Markstrom at full salary, the Flames were like, nah, sorry, fam, we actually want to keep him because we want to make the playoffs, and they didn't end up making the playoffs, and they weren't really too competitive towards the end there. They were a little bit more competitive, but not too much, and so the entire Jacob Markstrom situation, I'd say, is a huge fumble by the Calgary Flames. Sure, they got the deal done inevitably. Sure, they got the first. Sure, they got Kevin Bahl. Sure, they got guys that they wanted, but they had an opportunity to trade Markey away at full salary back at the trade deadline. They just decided not to do it. They just decided we'll go on a run, and then what? We'll trade him again in the offseason, we'll ask him to waive again, and then we're going to have to retain some money. Honestly, I feel like the Devils, they got themselves a little bit of a bargain here. All they had to do was wait, because the Calgary Flames are a little bit impulsive in wanting to force themselves a playoff spot. And look, they get Markstrom at a cheap discount because of it. $2 million off, $4 million AAV on the cap is pretty solid, I would say, especially for a guy who is as good as Markey can be. Now, of course, 34 years old, he's not the youngest guy in the world, 6'6", 205, still a tall dude, but Markey just had himself a Vezina caliber season 2 years ago, .922 save percentage. He was one of the finalists in the Vezina voting. .892 save percentage the season after that he had declined, but then he bounced back up to a .905 this previous season. Markstrom can still be good. There was a period throughout this 23-24 year where he was the only good player on the team. Part of the reason they were only competitive towards the end was because Markstrom was as good as he was, and heading over to New Jersey, this will be a pretty good shift because the Devils needed extra goaltending. Their goaltending stunk this prior year. We had been talking about this the entire time, but look at the Devils and their save percentages here. Okay, Kaapo Kähkönen, 923, he was all right, but everybody else, I mean, Jake Allen, he was acquired at the trade deadline, 900 save percentage, Akira Schmid, 895, Nico Dawes, 894, Vitek Vanacek, 890. These guys stunk. They needed extra goaltending support, and you could very well say that if the Devils just had a goalie, they maybe would have made the playoffs. Who really knows? If everybody stayed healthy, if everybody was playing to the maximum capacity of their ability, and they had goaltending, they could have made the dance. They eliminated New York last year. They have themselves a good team. They have a good core. So heading into next season, it's going to be Jake and Jake, Allen and Marky Mark, two guys that I'm very familiar with as a Vancouver Canucks and Montreal Canadiens fan. It's going to be weird to see the two 2020 first-round bubble playoff opponents playing on the same team. It's like Luongo and Thomas all over again. Okay, maybe not that big, but still. Markstrom and Allen going to be on the same team next year. This is a pretty good upgrade in net, I would say. Good for New Jersey for getting this done. And at the price of Kevin Bahl, who is a pretty good defenseman, honestly, 23 years old, he's from New West here in BC, so actually, I mean, considering everything, him and I are actually mutuals, but he's 6'6", 229, left-handed defenseman, signed on to the end of next season, making $1.05 million a year, and he had 11 points in 82 games played this season. He played all the games, he was all right, not really the biggest point producer, but that's not really what you get him for. At the end of the day, Kevin Bahl is a huge presence, yet another one of these younger blue liners that the Calgary Flames have added onto their team the past few months. You talk about the Andrei Kuzmenko trade. They got Yoni Yurmo, they got Hunter Brzustevich. Awesome. You talk about the Tanev trade. They got themselves... Who did they get themselves? Joel Hanley? No, that was the waiver wire pickup. They got themselves Artyom Grushnikov. From the Noah Hanifin trade, they got themselves Daniil Miramanov. They're getting all the ovs and defensemen because they need to bolster up that blue line. Kevin Bahl helps out in that respect. So, Craig Conroy, I see what you're doing here. Do I like it? Not really, but do I respect it? Yeah, I think you could have traded Markstrom away earlier without the salary retention, considering how desperate the New Jersey Devils were to get a trade done during that trade period in the trade deadline. But either way, they get the deal done here. Kevin Bahl addresses a need. Jacob Markstrom addresses a need. The Flames are getting some value in that first-round pick. It's a pretty good trade, all things considered. And, of course, these assets, I mean, it's not like Pierre-Luc Dubois expiring in the end of the 2030s or whatever. Jacob Markstrom's contract expires in 2026. So there are only 2 years of this contract to go on. Kevin Bahl, of course, his contract expires next year. And plus, he's a young guy. It's not really like anybody's thinking about salary when thinking about Kevin Bahl, of all people. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below about Jacob Markstrom getting traded over to the New Jersey Devils. It's all official. It's all happening. It's all done. And what are your thoughts, Calgary Flames fans, on the return? New Jersey, 2025 first with top 10 protection and Kevin Bahl. Assuming the Devils live up to their expectations next year, that draft pick could very well be in the 20s, so we'll see if it actually does go that far down. But either way, I mean, the Flames have been getting draft picks. They have Vancouver's first from this year. They have their own, of course. There's a lot of opportunity here for the Flames to get even younger and get even better in the process. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this trade over here. Markstrom to the Devils for Kevin Bahl and a first. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.